To give is not an option, but an obligation. To give is not a choice, but a compulsion. To give is not a pragmatic need, but an essential need. My dear fathers and brothers, I like to share some of my ideas on this beautiful theme. Let's give not out of abundance, but out of our poverty. Hope it does not apply to giving homily. You are supposed to give homily out of your abundance of reflections, thoughts, wisdom, not out of poverty. And though sometimes the homilies are like that, no, we can very well easily make out this. It's coming out of poverty. Okay. So this to give is not just a pragmatic need. You give me what I need, I give you what you need. Just a pragmatic need, so that we are all happy. But it's an essential need. Without giving, we cannot live. How? I'll come to that. Similarly, giving is not just a choice. I want to give or I don't want to give. No, it's a compulsion. To live is to give. And again, it's not just an option, but an obligation. Today in the first reading, St. Paul beautifully explains in his letter to Corinthians when he writes to them, quoting the church in Macedonia, how everybody shared and everybody has become self-sufficient. That means the sharing makes the life possible there. And finally ends with a beautiful statement. Jesus, out of his richness, he became poor willingly so that we may become rich. That means he has given everything that he had. And that has a beautiful connection to the gospel passage where Jesus sits at the temple and watching the people offering in the temple. And though rich people come and give a lot of things, one but poor widow, she gave 2 copper coins, and that was all that she had, and she gave everything. That means trusting in the providence of God, she gave everything. And Jesus says, this is the lady who has given more. Because others, out of richness, out of their abundance, they give some portion of it, but she has given everything that she had. So that shows that when we trust God, in his presence and providence, we are not worried about immediate our needs, and God will take care. So that point is there. Also this giving, it's quite easy to see, normal to see people coming and offering big amounts in the temples and the churches and so on. Recently in Venkatachalapati temple in Tirupati, one jewelers from Trichy has a big jewelers shop. He made 40 gold lotus and offered to God. And sometimes earlier, one minister gave 40 crores worth diamond crown to Venkatachalapati God, right? Now the gods may not be even aware that it is gold, right? And they don't need also. Why do the gods need our gifts? Instead of that money, we would have given to the poor, or we would have done a lot of good things, right? With 40 crores, how many things, good things would have been done. So, when we give to God, we give in order to receive something from him in a bigger way. Or we plunder, rob from people, from that we give a portion, commission to God. This is not the real giving. The real giving is a genuine giving, and God becomes a big model in that, my dear friends. As St. Paul shows Jesus a big model, there are different descriptions, different understanding of God. In my opinion, one of the important understanding or descriptions God will be, God is the giver. God is the giver. He gives everything. Of course, God, when he takes a human form as Jesus Christ, he also gave everything until the last moment on the cross. Even the last drop of the blood and water that he had, he gave it to others. So he gave everything. So God is the giver, and God gives a creative power, which emanates from him, and he created the world, and finally gave his breath to make us human beings. So that's what we believe. We have been created in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, we are also called to be a giver. Perhaps God is a giver with a capital G, and we are giver with a small g. We are also called to give. And God, being filled with goodness, he cannot but give only the goodness. Well, he cannot even think of something that is not good. So God gives the goodness to the others, and we have been created in the image and likeness of God. We are also called to give. give the goodness only to the others in our words, actions, and attitudes. Right? So to give is something connected with our inner being, existential. Without giving, life is not possible. It's not just giving and taking. It's like not a business. No, even beyond that. Suppose a fellow says, no, I have worked hard in my life. I have earned everything. So why should I give? If the people want, let them earn. I have put a lot of hard work and struggle and earn. So how can you demand that I should give to others? I cannot give. I know there are very many kanjus, miserly people. They don't want to give everything. But even these people also giving something to the world constantly. What is that? Even these people also giving something constant to the world. What is that? Carbon dioxide. Suppose a fellow says, no, my carbon dioxide is only for me. Let me close my nose and sit. How long can he sit? See? Without giving, you cannot live. You have to give. That's an essential need. Very often we give that think that giving is something added to it, added to us. Okay, he's a good man, he gives a lot. She is a good man, she gives a lot, right? But giving is a very essential thing. We don't go to that level of seeing as an existent need. If I can't give, I cannot live. So I cannot say my carbon dioxide is only for me, then I close my nose, unless you breathe through ears, okay? You close your nose and sit, you cannot live. So giving is an essential thing, and that is how God has made us, my dear friends. How we are social animals, we cannot live without a family. Similarly, we cannot live without giving. And this giving and taking is a beautiful process in our lives, and how much we have received from the others, right? If you have not received from others, our life is not possible. If you are talking and walking today, it is because of the others. If others were not there, your parents, your family members were not there, even you would not have learned to walk and talk. Some years ago, there was a research by some sociologists. They took a 3-day-old baby, small infant, just 3 days old baby girl. They took it to the forest and let the child grow in the forest with the wolves. And there the mother wolf, because of the maternal instinct, somehow the wolf protected the child from other wolves. And soon the other wolves also got very friendly with this child, and the child started growing there. Now after 13 years, the researchers go to the forest to see what happens to the child. Now how old is the child now? 13 years plus 3 days. Remember the 3 days? Yeah. So this 13-year-old girl is not able to identify or recognize the human beings. She is afraid of these human beings. She is very much comfortable with the wolves, right? And making noise, yelling and howling, not a single word in any language for that matter. And above all, she is not able to stand on 2 legs and walk like us. She was crawling like this on 4 legs, right? Because when she was 8 months old or 1 year old, there was no one to hold her hands to teach her walking. There was no one to teach her to talk, right? Today you and I are talking and walking. Some are talking too much like me, but still it's a gift of the others, right? If others were not there, we would not have even survived. And human baby is the most dependent creature in the world on their parents for the survival. We have seen goats and cows, when they litter, the new ones calf, 20 minutes, 30 minutes struggles and opens eyes and starts running about very soon. But we, for 3 months, we can lie only on our back. Even to turn and lie on our stomach, it takes 3 months. They say, that means the child has turned by itself. In Tamil we say, Kuputagara means to lie on the stomach, right? So that's becomes a big event. Till then, the child is not able to even turn. We cannot express our needs. All that we know is only cry. To sleep also we cry, to urinate also we cry, to eat also we cry. Nothing else we can communicate. Someday the child holds its own, catches its own hair and does not know. It causes a pain, the child is crying, the mother has to come and release the hair from the hand. You must have done, you have forgotten anyway. So, because he's saying, is it possible? You have done, I know that. Okay. So that shows you are so much dependent on others. And do you think that without the contribution of the others, you would have survived? No. And when you survive, when you grow old, you are supposed to give to the others. It's okay to be selfish for the child, because the child cannot survive otherwise. No? The child, when it is born, till a few months, the child thinks the mother is only an extension of its being. Because whenever the child needs something, it cries and expects the mother to come and to attend to it. It does not bother whether the mother is sleeping or eating or bathing. It has to, because the child thinks mother is the extension of its being. Slowly it recognizes that mother is a separate being, because sometimes a child hears the voice of the mother but not able to see the mother in the close vicinity, right? Sometimes the child sees the mother but not able to touch. Slowly it realizes, okay, mother is a separate being. Now as we grow, we need to grow more and more in that sense of giving to the others. So far we have received, now it's a time to give to others. And if I don't give, naturally my life becomes very limited, it's not fulfilling, it's not happy. Now selfish people, very often they'll be unhappy people. And selfish people, very often they die a miserable death. They may have plenty of things, right? And just things, having accumulation alone does not make our life meaningful or happy, right? You may have hundreds of acres of land, property, but when you are 85, 90 years old, all that you need is only a small room, 10 by 10, right? That 10 by 10 room, small room, one bed, and then one table to eat, one chair, and you just hold the wall and go to the chair to eat something and come back quietly and slowly lie down. You cannot even look at the acres of land that you have. You have plenty of bank balance. Please spend before you become 90. That's a message, right? When you are 90, you cannot go even to the bank and to take the money and spend. You have to depend on the others. So what's the point of having lakhs of rupees in the bank? You are not able to spend. You cannot decide when to spend, how to spend. Others will be controlling you. So my dear friends, having things alone is not life. Of course we need for our existence, for our survival, but going beyond that, giving is very, very an existential need, essential need to make our lives possible. And we have taken up the extra vows or the vocation to reach out to the people, and this is demanded of us much more. And we have our own diocese, our congregation to take care of the basic needs, and basic needs are fulfilled. So we need not really worry about all this existence, and that's why we are able to give our being, our time to the others. And to give others not only just the facilities and the properties and the things or money, that's one thing, and giving time is a beautiful gift. Because when I give some 1,000 rupees, somebody else may give the same 1,000 rupees, or they can give 5,000 rupees, or I can borrow the 1,000 from others, or I can rob also from the others, right? I rob 5,000, give 1,000 rupees to you. But the only thing which I give it to you, which I can never get from anywhere, is time. When I spend time with you, the time I can never get from anywhere, anyone. Nobody can give me. Nobody can add even 1 minute to my life, to my time. So the best gift that we can ever give to others is the time, the quality time, meaningful time. It's not wasting time, his time also, not that way, not negative. That I go, oh, let's go waste and time together. No. So they're spending time with those who are in need of our company, in need of our consolation, in need of our presence. That's what yesterday's reading, Matthew 25, the final judgment. It's really surprising, The whole judgment, the judgment is going to be very crucial. That is going to decide whether you are in the heaven or hell, whether you are part of the kingdom of God or away from God. Even that crucial judgment is decided upon what? Simple questions like, did you give water? Did you spend some time? Did you give clothes? Did you visit the lonely, the sick, the prisoners? Sometimes the exam, students expect big things, hard questions, tough questions, big questions. They study and go. And finally, they don't see all such questions, only small questions, unexpected questions come. Isn't it? Some of you don't study anything. That's okay. So we expect big questions in the last judgment. Finally, Jesus surprised. God surprises us with different questions. And that all the statements, the demands is, can be boiled down to one word, giving. Giving clothes, giving time, giving money, giving food. That's why I said giving is an essential and existential property, and God is the giver. And since we believe that we have been created in the image and likeness of God, we are also called to give. Let us think about it today.